Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Welcome to the show that never ends, the drama, the intrigue, the WNBA. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. Folks, we're going to talk a little bit about the Indiana Fever's Game of Thrones. That's right. Who will be the head coach next season to sit on the Iron Throne and take the reins, leading Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever to a WNBA championship? Now, the fact that the Fever recovered from that very difficult start, made the playoffs, there are now a lot of Fever fans that say, hey, Sides is really good. She ought to get another season. They made the playoffs. You don't fire a coach who made the playoffs. Well, of course you do, and it's happened before. But that aside, the other large part of the Fever fan base that absolutely one side's gone is now split on Stephanie White. Why is that? Stephanie White just came within one game of taking the Connecticut Sun to the WNBA Finals, and she will not be returning next season. So a lot of fans would like to see Stephanie White be the next coach to sit on the Iron Throne, leading Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Some, of course, say, no, no, we don't want it to be Stephanie because they feel like she just got completely outcoached by Cheryl Reeve in the Minnesota Lynx, despite taking them to the limit of a 5 game series, falling in the final game, coming one win short of making the finals. Now, what makes this trickier, of course, is WNBA coaching issues in terms of the WNBA was put in the summer to avoid, of course, conflicting with college basketball and the NBA, and I get it, it makes sense. Soccer in America does the same thing to not conflict with the rest of the world, being a world sport. But you have that. That makes it tricky in terms of finding a coach because of coach availability, and then also WNBA pay issues with coaches relative to top college coaches, or of course, if you were to try and take someone from the men's game in college or the NBA, big difference in price. For example, now I know this is like the upper limit of college, but still, Christie Sides was getting paid pretty well as a WNBA coach. I believe she was making $500,000 a season. Dawn Staley right now is in the middle of a 7-year deal worth $22.4 million that will keep her as the head coach of the South Carolina Gamecocks through the 27-28 season. Hey, by the way, that deal may have been restructured. I could not find it. And the reason I say that is because, of course, the results Dawn has had, because I believe this deal was signed in like 21. They've won some championships since. Maybe they restructured. But if they did, it's obviously even more money than that. And that is over $3 million a season. Now, Stephanie White, after her playing career, she joined the Chicago Sky as an assistant coach back in 2007. She spent 4 seasons there. Lynn Dunn was her college coach. She brought her to serve as an assistant on the Fever staff. And then she was named head coach in 2014 after the 2014 season, which made her the youngest active coach in the league. She spent 2 seasons as the Indiana Fever coach, 2 very good seasons. She was 20-14 in 2015. They finished third in the East, got all the way to the WNBA Finals where they lost. Then in 2016, they went 17-17. Also, again, third in the East and lost in the first round. And that was the last time until this season that the Indiana Fever made the playoffs. She then went to Vanderbilt, where did not have a great college coaching career. Was there for 4+ years, and the reason I say 4+ is because her last year was 2021, which of course ended early at 4-4. But her 4 seasons at Vanderbilt were 14-16, 7-24, 7-23, and then 14-16, and then 4-4 in the shortened season. before returning back to the WNBA as the head coach of the Connecticut Sun, where she had two very successful seasons. 2023, they were 27-13, came in second in the East, lost in the second round or the semifinals. And then again in 2024, 28-12, again second in the East, again lost in the second round or the semifinals, where they one game away from the finals. Now, people who don't want to get Stephanie White, a couple of their reasons are the whole idea of recycling head coaches, or in this case, but in this case, you're not recycling an unsuccessful head coach. That happens a lot. You see uh, guys, and I say guys because I think this happens a lot in the NBA and the NFL and even Major League Baseball, where you get someone who gets to manage, they get a lot of experience, and maybe they had one or two good seasons, and then they're okay, and they get fired. Maybe they're out of the game for a year or two. Another team hires them, and it's sort of a circle of the same coaches. That coaches with experience club. So a lot of people want to stay away from that. But you know what? Stephanie White doesn't have, she hasn't been around that long. She left Indiana to give a shot at college ball and then came back to the WNBA, and she left Connecticut. So the only thing I would say there is, how long is she going to stick around if you were to hire her? Now, the other issue is the style of play. A lot of people are saying, oh, well, she's coaching Connecticut. They're a defensive oriented team that doesn't run. They're very slow offensively. Can she coach a running offense led by Caitlin Clark? Great question. I don't know. A good coach should be able to adapt to their players. And don't forget, the Connecticut Sun did very effectively, I might add, run some up tempo against the Indiana Fever, which completely threw the Fever off of their own game while still playing very good defense and allowing the Indiana Fever to only score, I believe, 69 and 81 points in their two playoff games against the Connecticut Sun. And on top of that, the Connecticut Sun are a great defensive team. And if the Indiana Fever can just become average defensively, that would make a huge, huge difference for them. So, what do you think? Should they keep Christie Sides? If they don't, do they jump on the opportunity to get? And hey, Stephanie White stepping away from Connecticut, she might not be interested in coaching again next season. I don't know. But should they approach her and find out? Or do you wait and see what else is out there? And like I said, you've got college season in swing, NBA season in swing. I don't know about availability in terms of quality coaches. If you were to say not go after Stephanie White, what else is there? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. For me, first, you got to get, if you are replacing her, you have to let Christie Sides go. I've seen so many people. This last thing I'll add, because this was strange to me. I've never seen this conversation in any other sport. So many people talk about, oh well, you have to find a replacement first before you let the coach go. It never works that way. Now, in season, it's usually, if you fire a coach in season like the Jets just did, someone from the staff steps in as an interim coach as well, and then you start looking. But no, you let your coach go, and then you do your research. You may have already done your research before letting your coach go, but then you let your coach go, and then you start conducting interviews on your list. You go through the people that you want as coach, and you interview them. In fact, in the NFL, you absolutely can't go looking before you fire your coach, because you have to have so many interviews with minority candidates, which is a whole nother issue that's really weird, because I don't think that's fair to the team if they know who they want to hire, or to the minority coaches if the team knows who they want to hire and then they're interviewing these people when there's no shot at them getting the job. That's not fair to them either. But anyway, my point being is, you got to let your coach go and then start the hiring process. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Think they should keep Christie Sides? Should they let her go? If they let her go, should they go after Stephanie White? And I'm not saying even hire her right away, but approach her for an interview while they're also conducting interviews with other people. Or do you think, hey, maybe there's not a lot out there because basketball's in season? Just hire Stephanie White. She's proven that she's done a good job in her limited time in the WNBA, and we'll go from there, see what happens. But let me know your thoughts. Thanks so much for checking out this video. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel a lot. And I will talk to you later.